In the global game of chess that is politics, the position of one piece can change the entire game. What if we told you that piece is Imran Khan, the Prime Minister of Pakistan? The world of politics is a minefield of alliances, rivalries, and power struggles. Each player has their own agenda, their own strategies, and their own weapons of choice. In the case of Imran Khan, the political landscape is no less challenging. His leadership, while charismatic and ambitious, is entangled in a web of domestic and international complexities. At the heart of Khan's struggle are three key players: the Pakistan Army, Saudi Arabia, and India. Each in their own way contributes to the turbulence that the Prime Minister navigates on a daily basis. The Pakistan Army, a force to reckon with on its own, is a crucial player in the country's politics. Known for its historical influence over the nation's governance, some believe that discontent within the ranks could be a driving force behind Khan's political challenges. Then we have Saudi Arabia, an ally of Pakistan that has long extended its economic and political support. But with recent tensions straining this alliance, the question arises: has Saudi Arabia's stance on Khan's leadership shifted? And finally, we come to India. As a neighbor and long-standing rival, India has vested interests in the region. There are speculations that India may be playing its own cards to destabilize Khan's government and further its geopolitical agenda. These are the forces that shape the political landscape in which Imran Khan operates. They are the unseen hands that move the pieces on the board, and they are the voices whispering in the corridors of power. But that is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's delve deeper into these forces. Khan's political struggle is not just a domestic issue, it's a piece in the larger puzzle of global politics. The moves he makes, the alliances he forms, and the challenges he faces are all part of a bigger picture that extends far beyond the borders of Pakistan. The Pakistan Army, a force to reckon with, historically intertwined with the country's politics, now allegedly opposed to Khan. An interesting facet of Pakistan's political landscape is the monumental influence of its military. The Pakistan Army, over the decades, has evolved into an entity that wields considerable power, not only in defense, but also in the nation's politics. Take a step back in time, and you'll find that since its inception, Pakistan has witnessed direct military rule for nearly half of its existence. The Army's involvement in politics is not a new phenomenon, but a deeply ingrained part of Pakistan's history. This dynamic has set a precedent, creating an environment where the military's stance on political matters carries weight. Fast forward to the present, and we see the Pakistan Army's influence reflected in the struggle faced by Prime Minister Imran Khan. Some believe that the Army, discontented with Khan's governance style and policies, may play a role in the political turmoil. Khan's strained relations with the military have been a topic of public discussion, with critics suggesting that the military establishment is not entirely pleased with the Prime Minister's approach to key issues. Additionally, Khan's stance on civilian supremacy and his attempts to reduce the military's role in politics have reportedly ruffled feathers within the establishment. This has led to speculations that elements within the army, uncomfortable with Khan's push for change, may be part of the forces seeking his removal. However, it's essential to note that these are allegations, and the Army's official stance is of neutrality and non-interference in political matters. Yet, given the historical context and the current political climate, these claims cannot be entirely dismissed. The Army's stance, however, is just one piece of this complex puzzle. The intricacies of Pakistan's politics extend beyond the military's alleged involvement. As we delve deeper into the forces behind Khan's political struggle, we'll explore the roles of other significant players on the global stage. But that's a story for another scene. Moving across the border, we meet an ally turned potential adversary, Saudi Arabia. This desert kingdom, a historical ally of Pakistan, has been instrumental in providing economic and political support to the nation. Their bond, however, has been tested in recent times, casting a shadow over Imran Khan's political stability. Historically, Saudi Arabia has been a safety net for Pakistan's economy, providing loans and oil on deferred payments during crucial times. However, the dynamics of this relationship have evolved with Khan's rise to power. The shift began with Khan's attempt to balance his country's relations with Saudi Arabia and its rival Iran, a move that did not sit well with the Saudi leadership. Adding fuel to the fire, Khan's stance on the Kashmir issue, a bone of contention between Pakistan and India, also did not align with Saudi Arabia's interests. Khan's vocal criticism of the international community's silence on the issue included an indirect jab at Saudi Arabia, straining their relationship further. Moreover, the recent snub by Saudi Arabia, asking Pakistan to repay a portion of the loan ahead of schedule, sent shockwaves through the Pakistani economy and political landscape. This financial blow was seen by many as a clear indication of Saudi Arabia's displeasure with Khan's government. But it's not all gloom and doom. There are some who believe that while the relationship has hit a rough patch, it's not beyond repair. They argue that the long-standing strategic partnership between the two nations is too significant to be discarded over a few disagreements. Yet, the question remains, to what extent could this growing rift with Saudi Arabia impact Khan's political future? Could it make him more vulnerable to his opponents within and outside Pakistan? These are questions only time can answer. Yet there are more players on the field. In the East, we find India, a historical rival with its own stake in Pakistan's political turmoil. India and Pakistan, since their inception, have been entangled in a complex web of conflict and competition. The relationship between these two nuclear-armed neighbors has been a defining factor in the geopolitical dynamics of South Asia. India has traditionally been concerned about stability in Pakistan, given the history of conflicts and tensions between the two nations. A destabilized Pakistan can be seen as a double-edged sword for India. On one hand, it could provide India with strategic advantages. A weakened Pakistan might be less able to support groups that India perceives as a threat to its security. Moreover, a destabilization of Imran Khan's government could potentially lead to a leadership that is more amenable to resolving long-standing issues between the two countries. Yet, on the other hand, a destabilized Pakistan brings with it concerns of increased instability in the region, which could have direct impacts on India's security. An unstable Pakistan might also provide a breeding ground for extremist elements, potentially escalating the security threats for India. It's important to note that these are speculations, and it's not to suggest that India is actively seeking to destabilize Pakistan. However, given the historical rivalry and ongoing tensions, it's not unreasonable to consider that India has a significant interest in the political developments in Pakistan. The relationship between India and Pakistan is complex and multidimensional, shaped by a shared history, territorial disputes, and geopolitical competition. Any political changes in Pakistan, such as those potentially facing Imran Khan, are likely to have implications for India and its strategic interests in the region. With all these forces at play, the future of Khan's leadership hangs in the balance. The political struggle in Pakistan is not just a domestic issue, it's intricately tied to the geopolitical dynamics of the region, involving key players like the Pakistan Army, Saudi Arabia, and India. And, beyond regional players, global superpowers like the USA and China also have their eyes on Pakistan. In this great game of geopolitical chess, the USA and China are the kings and queens, moving their pieces across the board. These superpowers have significant interests in Pakistan, and their moves could be influencing Imran Khan's political struggle. Let's start with the USA. Historically, the United States has had a complicated relationship with Pakistan. On one hand, It sees Pakistan as a crucial ally in the war against terror. And on the other, it has concerns about Pakistan's nuclear program and its relations with extremist groups. The USA's approach towards Imran Khan's government could be shaped by these factors, and their influence cannot be underestimated. Now let's turn our attention to China. China is Pakistan's all-weather friend and its biggest ally. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, a flagship project of China's Belt and Road Initiative, is a testament to their close relationship. However, China also has its own interests to protect. It could be seeking stability in Pakistan for the smooth execution of its projects. So it's plausible that the Chinese government could be involved in the power dynamics of Pakistan. But it's not just about the USA and China. The global chessboard includes other players as well. Countries in the European Union, the Middle East, and even Russia have stakes in Pakistan. They all could be exerting their influence, directly or indirectly, on the political landscape of Pakistan. As we unravel the layers of Imran Khan's struggle, it's clear that it's not just a domestic issue. It is a complex web of regional and global interests, each with its own agenda, each making its own moves on the chessboard. These forces could be shaping the narrative, influencing decisions, and affecting the political stability of Pakistan. Although it's difficult to pinpoint exactly who is pulling the strings, one thing is certain: the game is on, and the moves made on this global chessboard will determine the fate of Imran Khan and Pakistan. In this intricate game, one thing is clear: Khan's political struggle is far from over. We've traced the complex web that surrounds his leadership, from the influential Pakistan army, said to be discontented with his style of governance, to Saudi Arabia, a longtime ally whose support seems to be waning amidst a flurry of recent tensions. We've ventured across the border into India, a historical rival with its own vested interests in the region. We've also touched on the wider global chessboard, where the strategic moves of powerhouses like China and the United States could potentially sway the balance of power. This political saga is a testament to the intricate interplay of national and international forces. The ripple effects of these political maneuvers will be felt far and wide, shaping the future of Pakistan and its place in the world. Stay with us as we continue to decode the world of politics. Until next time, remember, knowledge is power.